There are two times during my spiritual exploration when somebody I've been working with as a coach, guide, mentor has asked me a question that completely transformed my trajectory. The first one was in relation to awakening. So if you're curious about that one, you can go check out the Complete Book of Awakening and my story in the back of that and the journey that I went on with that when somebody said to me, "But what do you know for yourself?" But I'm here today to talk about my enlightenment journey and the question that really shifted my experience with my enlightenment journey. So what was happening was I was working with a coach, and she was really, that work was really about shifting my business, about growth, about expansion. But she very much worked in the world of energetics more than practical to-dos. You know, it wasn't about there was some, so her thing was 80% energy, 20% strategy. So 80% focus on the energy you're in, the energy you're coming from, who you're being, all that kind of stuff. And 20% the practical how-tos. Here's some ways to do that work. And anyway, in the early days of working with her, I had one-to-one time with her, as well as being in a group. And I remember one day, I can't remember the specific context of what I was talking about, but I remember leaving her a voice memo where I recounted the domino effect of the experience. So being able to say, well, this happened, and then I react in this way. I think this, and then that leads to me thinking this and feeling this, and then that leads to me thinking this and feeling this, and then this is the outcome. So I could really clearly see all this step by step of knock-on effect, domino effect, and the logic, albeit skewed logic of the system that made that sequence of events make sense, even though on the surface it was getting a result I didn't want. I was basically describing and explaining, oh yes, but look, this is, I think this, and then I think this, and then I think this, and then this is the outcome I get. I remember leaving this really long voice memo going, well, you see, there's this, and then there's that, and then I think that means this, and this childhood thing means that I've grown up to believe this, and therefore that leads to this outcome. And it was I remember it being a very long, convoluted message, but which really, like, it was true. It was true. It was absolutely my understanding of those knock-on domino effects in my system. But it was long, it was convoluted, it was in-depth explanation of what I'd understood about my pattern and why this pattern kept repeating. And then she came back to me with a very simple, very direct question. She said, that's great, Helen. You're clearly so self-aware that you can understand and see all those patterns. But is your life changing? But is your life changing? And it was like, oh, well, no, not really. I thought all I needed was to be aware of these patterns. I thought all that was needed was to understand the logic, again, albeit skewed, the logic of this domino effect of the pattern. But nothing's really changing. My life isn't really changing. It's not shifting, it's not going, it's not transforming. The same pattern keeps playing out again and again and again, and I'm seeing it again and again and again, but nothing's really changing. And so it was it was very much a big moment. It was a really significant moment. It really changed the journey I was on. It changed my path from just see it, recognize the pattern, understand the pattern, be aware of the pattern. It shifted from that into, oh, right, no, I can do something with this. I can take some kind of action with this. And at the time, in her world, her invitation was to read the book No Good Parts. That's totally not what the book's called. To read the book No Bad Parts, which is about internal family systems. And so I read that and I started using it for myself to start to connect with the parts inside of me and talk to them and understand them and let them tell me their fears and their insecurities, and then they would lead to resolution of some kind and settle. And I can't actually remember at that time if things got less reactive. I definitely remember having great insights, and I definitely remember in the autumn of 23, so towards the end when I was working with this coach, I remember that was the point at which I had sight of the belief I am wrong. And that was like, oh my God, that's been hiding under all of this. Well, that makes sense. So there was definitely some level of revelation happening through that no bad parts process, through that internal family systems process. And then the next stage led me into 2024 to discovering that there was something called negative identities. And that led me into the Mace Energy Method. And this was like a journey of increasingly proactive and increasingly precise doing in order to actually change my life, in order to actually do something about these things, rather than it just having to be about seeing it again and again and again. Rather than just having to be the awareness of the thing, it was like, oh no, I can actually do something. Now, whatever we choose to do is what we choose to do. If you're not drawn to Mace, then do something else. But I really want you to know that there is something you can do. So if you feel you've been in a journey where it's been about seeing and how many times do I have to see this thing? I'm being aware, and oh my God, how much awareness can I bring to this thing? If you've been in that experience, I want to invite you to consider that question. But is it changing your life? Is your life actually changing? Because that's what we're all here for. That's what we're all in this for. We wouldn't be in, I don't believe we'd be in a spiritual exploration or any kind of personal development unless we wanted our life to change, unless we wanted things to feel better, unless we wanted to stop being reactive, unless we wanted to stop these damn repeating patterns. We wouldn't be anywhere near this stuff if it wasn't for that. So please, first of all, check in with yourself, with whatever you're doing, and ask genuinely and honestly, is this actually changing my life? Is my life actually changing as a result of whatever it is I'm doing? Or am I in fact playing out the same pattern over and over again with, yes, a different context, with different people, with different players in the game? Is it fundamentally the same pattern? And if it is, then I truly, truly, wholeheartedly invite you to do something that's going to lighten that, or even better, completely clear it out of your field so you can get on with enjoying your life, feeling free, feeling at ease, feeling peaceful, without then actually needing to keep doing anything. Get it clear, get it done, carry on with life. It's so nice. So if the Mace Energy Method is the thing you're drawn to do to truly clear this stuff from your system, I would love to invite you to that. Check out the foundation sessions link that I'll pop in the description. See how it feels for you, see if it feels good, and then get yourself booked on those foundation sessions so we can clear a whole bunch of this rubbish out of your field so you can actually change your life and get on with enjoying it. So much love. Thank you for watching. Click subscribe, click notifications, you know the deal. I would love to see you again next time when I pop a video up here. Lots of love. Take care.